Big shout out to all the people who have supported Tablemon on Patreon in June. Those extra dollars that you support with really make a big difference. If you'd like to get featured in the July videos, check out patreon.com/Tablemon. Generally, every single dollar helps, guys. Thank you. Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new day of Road to TCG Worlds 2019. Now this is probably one of my most favorite decks that I've come up with so far. For the new standard meta, it's the one that I really want to test a lot, or the most. Yeah, I do think the more I think about it, the more Mal Margaratina feels like it's going to be the best deck. Because of spell tags and whatnot. But this deck, like in a heavy tag team field meta, this deck feels like it should be pretty good because we have Mew and Mewtwo GX, yeah, which, let me just open it up to make sure I read exactly, yeah. We have the Perfection ability. This Pokemon can use the attacks of any Pokemon GX or Pokemon EX on your bench or in your discard pile. Yeah, so you don't even have to have discarded the Pokemon previously. You can use the attack if the GX is on the bench. You still need the necessary energy to use each attack, which makes a lot of sense. As you can see, we have a really wide variety of GXs that we are going to try to copy. But we have the Miraculous Duo GX attack, which deals 200 damage for 2 psychic energy and a colorless. And if you have at least 1 extra energy attached to this Pokemon, you heal all damage from all of your Pokemon. Yeah, not just Mewtwo and Mew. You heal all damage from all of your Pokemon, which is actually really powerful. Okay, so first off, we have 2 Dedenne GX. Yeah, we're not trying to copy Tingly Return GX, of course. We do not have any lightning energy, so Dedenne GX is not a card that we can use to copy, but Dedenne GX provides draw power and also provides discard, right? With the discard options, we can get rid of things like Solgaleo GX promo, which with its attack, you deal 120 damage, and then you load up basic energies from the discard pile. So Dedenne also helps with that. Discards Pokemon, discards potential energy. The GX attack of Solgaleo GX, probably less good than Mewtwo's, but it is an option to heal. Then we have Altaria GX, yeah, which with its first attack, let me open it up. Yeah, with its first attack, Bright Tone, you deal 50 damage. And during your opponent's next turn, you prevent all damage done to his Pokemon by attacks from Pokemon GX and Pokemon EX. So I can envision some scenarios where you have a single Mewtwo and Mew GX, and you discard the Altaria, you power up 2 energies, and then you use Bright Tone for the rest of the game, and you end up winning. That could be something to consider. We also have Sonic Edge, which deals 110 damage, and you ignore any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So something like Latios GX will not be able to stop our Mewtwo and Mew GX from rampaging all over our opponent's Pokemon, because Sonic Edge bypasses the tag team safeguard effect that Latios GX has. Yeah, we have our own Latios GX. Yeah, we are trying to perhaps use that attack as well. Yeah, like we have progressive protection, yeah, between Altaria GX and Latios GX from the tag teams, which are very commonplace in today's meta. Then we have Dragonite GX. Yeah, Dragonite GX, the reason it's in here is for its second attack. 5 energy, straight up to 170 damage. You do have to discard 3 energy, but that's usually worth it for the cost of 1-hit KOing a tag team. Yeah, usually going to be worth it. So definitely something to keep in mind. And it's especially nice because it's searchable by Mysterious Treasure, right? Like, you can't search for Solgaleo with Mysterious Treasure. You can't search for well, that's actually the only one. You can't search for Dedenne, yeah, with Mysterious Treasure, but you do have Cherish Ball for that. But then Mysterious Treasure also searches for all the rest of your Pokemon, which is really useful. Next up, we have Naganadel GX, which once again we are not using for its ability. We are using for its GX attack even. We are using it for the Venom Shot attack, which for 4 energy, you discard 2 energy once again, but you deal 170 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. So With double colorless energy, this attack would have been even more powerful than it already is, but as it currently stands, it could be a really nice way to just finish off a Dedenne GX that's sitting on the bench by using Venom Shot. So finally we have Jirachi GX, which we're not trying to copy that one, we are actually trying to bench him because its ability Psychic Zone means you don't apply Psychic Weakness when Pokemon, both yours and your opponent, take damage from attack. So this gives protection, right, to your opponent's Mewtwo and Mew GX, but also gives you protection. It's especially useful against Giratina, making it harder for them to knock you out. Against Giratina, we probably would need some sort of healing, like Great Potions, Life Herbs, or an attack that we could copy that would reduce damage or would prevent damage from basic Pokemon or something, which we don't currently have, but at least removing weakness would be a good start. Star Search, you search your deck for an energy card and attach it to one of your psychic Pokemon, which is also pretty decent, right? Because you can copy that attack, right? You can actually copy that attack on turn 1. So there might be merit to playing more psychic energies, because imagine a turn 1 where you Cherish Ball for Jirachi and then Mina to the active Mewtwo and Mew. You attach a Psychic and then you Star Search going second. That's 3 energies on turn 1, and you're really ready to start powering through with either Latios GX's attack, or power up more with Solgaleo GX's, or use Altaria GX's protection attack. Like, you have a really wide array of options, even attaching and then using Mina again to power up to Dragonite GX's attack and get a turn to 270 damage. So a lot of really nice combos that this deck can pull off. Power Plant is of course a really big issue for the deck. That's why we have the one Burning Hole, Marshadow, and triple reinforce. So we have stadium counters, and essentially the Marshadow is a mysterious treasure searchable counter stadium, which is really useful. Now supporters wise, we have 4 Hapu, yeah, a new supporter coming out in the set, where you get to you take a look at the next 6 cards of your deck, you choose 2, you put them into your hand, and then you discard the other 4. This works especially well in this deck because you want energy in the discard pile, you want those Pokemon in the discard pile, and it also provides a lot of deck thinning, right? It's essentially drawing 6 cards, which is really good, and then you use up 4, but using up those 4 will sometimes or most of the time be very beneficial. So I think it's potentially a really good combination. We also have Mina, as I mentioned, to accelerate those fairy energies. That's why we are very high on the fairy energy count. Also because a lot of our attacks just don't require too many specific energies. So Gallo doesn't require specific energy. Altaria does fairy, so that's why you have a high fairy count. Latios only needs 1 psychic. With triple Viridian and 4 psychics, we should be fine. Dragonite GX's attack only needs 5 colorless, which is completely fine. And then Aganadels requires a psychic once again. So shouldn't be difficult to power up. You can play with the energy counts. I have 7, 4, and 2. You could play like 6, 5, and 2, or even go and even like 6, 6, 1, or 6, 5, 1. I don't know. I want extra fairies so that I can have targets for Mina almost every time. Yeah, and then we have double Cynthia and double Sightseer. Sightseer, another way to discard cards from your hand and keep the ones you really need, or just go for a full discard. Cynthia also really nice to just shuffle things, draw a fresh 6 cards. And then we have 4 Pokegear to make sure that we never dead draw, 4 Mysterious Treasure, 4 Cherish Ball. We do have the 4 Great Potion, which go really nicely with a Mew and Mewtwo, which cannot be hit by tag teams, essentially cannot be hit by GXs, and doesn't have weakness. So really powerful Pokemon there that also gets healing with the Great Potions. We have triple Reset Stamp this time around, yeah, because the attacks that block what your opponent can do combined with Reset Stamp means they're going to be really limited to what they can essentially do at any given turn. And then we have 2 U-turn boards so that we can move around, probably free retreat without having to spend energies, energy attachments if we start Jirachi, if we start Marshadow, if we start then if we start anything essentially other than Mewtwo and Mew GX. And we have triple reinforce to search for the specific energies. So a really interesting deck, a really flexible and versatile deck, and essentially you can, any GX attack that you think is worthwhile, you can include into the deck. As long as you have the right energies to go with it, you can include anything you need into the deck, which is really, really nice. So yeah, guys, that will be all for today. Yeah. If you want to get a shout out during the month of July, consider joining patreon.com/Tablemon. Generally, if each of you just chose to support with $1 per month, I could dedicate myself 100% to content creation, and you would be getting 3 videos per day or something like that. Yeah, and daily streams. But anyways, don't forget to leave a like. Really appreciate the support, and I'll catch you guys in our next video. Bye bye.